A very good afternoon from the studios of Relax Radio in London. This is your host, Sami Sanaullah, with the Relax Radio travel show back again after a break. And it's great to be with you again after a few episodes, and I will bring you an exciting lineup of travel programs that will be interesting. This show is targeted at the community and the traveling public and generally the industry as well, but it's not restricted to the industry. So, of course, if you just join me now, this is Relax Radio, and this is the travel show on Relax Radio, and I'm your host, Sami Sunullah. And a very good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, good morning, good evening, if you're in different time zones of the world, as we are always streaming across the globe. So it's fantastic to be back with you, and I hope that you are having a lovely day, a lovely Wednesday, mid of the week. Looking forward to probably some exotic destinations, hopefully, as the school holidays are coming up next week. Hopefully, you've already got your travel arrangements in place, and hopefully, it was a good deal to some nice destination. Having said that, the weather here in the UK is pretty good as well. We are having lovely temperatures, and it's quite warm and a bit humid as well, if I may say. So, what you want to call us on this number, you can call us 07852 is the number to call if you want to call us directly and have a chat with me. Now, let's look at how we're going to arrange the show over the next few episodes. We are going to be having tourist authorities to highlight the tourism destinations that are available. And of course, the world is your oyster. So we will be bringing in videos and possibly some speakers as well from various resorts around the world, speakers from various airlines and from various entertainment venues to give you an idea of what is available for your next holiday. And of course, I am going to tell you as well in Bangla from time to time, because this is also aimed at our British Bangladeshi diaspora. So আপনারা যারা দেখরায় আমরা রিল্যাক্স রেডিও ট্রাভেল শো জয়েন করছেন, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আপনারা সকলের শুভেচ্ছা এবং ধন্যবাদ আমরা লাগি তা থাকার জন্য। এবং এই প্রোগ্রামের মাঝে আপনারা জানতে পারবা বিভিন্ন গন্তব্য যেটা আপনার ভ্রমণের লাগি আপনার পপুলার ডেস্টিনেশনস আছে এবং কোন কোন জায়গাতে আপনারা যাইতে পারবা হলিডে সামনের দিকে। আর আশা করি আপনারা হলিডে অলরেডি বুক করে লিছেন, আর যদি না করিয়া তখন অলরেডি ইটস আ বিট লেট, সো প্রাইসেস আর ভেরি ভেরি হাই। বাট নেক্সট আপনারা বুক করতে পারবা ফর নেক্সট হলিডেজ, ফেব্রুয়ারি মাসে যে স্কুল হাফ টার্ম আইব, সো ইউ ক্যান বুক ইট। বাট আমরা বুকিং করিয়া না, আমরা কিছু সেল করিয়া না আপনারা, আমরা শুধু আপনার এই অ্যাওয়ারনেসটা ক্রিয়েট করি আপনারা জানার লাগি যে কোন কোন গন্তব্য যাইতে পারবা। বাংলাদেশ তো অবশ্যই আমরা লাগি সকল আমরা প্রিয় বাংলাদেশ, আমরা মাতৃভূমি, আমরা বাংলাদেশ যাইমু। বাংলাদেশ এডিশনালি অনেকও চাইন কিন্তু আরো কোনো এক জায়গা যাওয়ার লাগি ইন addition to Bangladesh. So, yeah, in addition to Bangladesh, of course, we, the British Bangladeshi diaspora, are always very, very well connected to Bangladesh, and we want to visit Bangladesh time and again. And we love Bangladesh. I love Bangladesh personally, and although I spent a very short part of my life in Bangladesh, I am very well connected, and I do travel to Bangladesh about 2 or 3 times a year, sometimes more. During the pandemic, of course, we have not been able to travel. But this year, recovery is in place, and the travel is bounding back. It's rebounding, and people are visiting lots of destinations around the world. So there is plenty to see, and of course, Bangladesh is a destination that is untapped, that has got so much more to offer to people, but perhaps it's not packaged in the right way. Perhaps it's not being marketed in the way that it should be as a tourism destination. So we do see a lot of tourism destinations that are well marketed, so people have a different perception. And of course, for Bangladesh, that perception has not quite been the same. But having said that, there are lots of tourists from the non-Bangladeshi origin who are traveling to Bangladesh. They have created lots of blogs, and they have been to various parts in Bangladesh. So they've created a lot of interest, and I quite like the way that they have portrayed Bangladesh with as a destination which is friendly and hospitable, which it is. In fact, our Bangladeshi hospitality is very well known, but the perception is quite not the same. And I believe it's sometimes it is a lot politicized in a way that people get discouraged from traveling to Bangladesh. And in all fairness, the FCDO travel advisory is not very helpful from that point of view. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying against them, but I think when people look at it, judging by looking at the FCDO and reading through, it says, well, there are certain, yes, true, there are certain areas in Bangladesh where you need to be careful. The Chittagong Hill Tracks, the Rangamati Bandarbon areas, there have been incidents and they are warning against traveling to those areas. That is understandable. But if you are going with a group of tourists and a tour guide and the necessary arrangements, then that should be perfectly okay. But again, due diligence, it's your decision. We would never say you should go or you shouldn't go. That is really, I think, a an advice that all tourists should take into account themselves. So here we are, and today we are just going to be highlighting what we will have for you over the coming weeks. As you probably know, the World Travel Market, which is a an industry event for the travel industry, the tourism industry in general. Some of you who are watching me from other parts of the world and from the tourism industry, you would know, of course, that the tourism industry is the largest single employer globally. That means the tourism sector, which includes the transport, air transport, land transport, rail, sea transport, accommodation, hotels, resorts, villas, bed and breakfast, Airbnbs, and then you have the entertainment, you have got the um, cruises, all of that together. They comprise the largest single employer in the world. There's the tourism sector, and it doesn't come without its challenges. It's a very diverse industry where you have to specialize in various parts. I mean, for example, you look at the airports, and the people who work at the airports have a different speciality. So there are so many components that are actually involved here that actually work together to deliver a smooth journey for the customer. So there are various stakeholders that contribute to the pleasant journey that we encounter, or sometimes maybe not the so pleasant journey that we encounter. But having said that, it's not always the fault of a single stakeholder. It can be a combination, it can be circumstances beyond control, it can be weather conditions, it can be acts of war, it can be political disturbances in different parts of the world. So it's a variety of factors. But again, you suppose somebody takes the blame, and it can end up being the maybe the travel agent would take the blame, or sometimes the airline would take the blame. But sometimes it is unseen. So I think we have seen in the past where there have been baggage handling issues at the airports in the UK, and that has, of course, set back a lot. Then we've recently have the air traffic control issues. um, well, I think the travel industry is never out without a challenge. There are always challenges that we face and we overcome. So we are a very resilient industry. The people in the industry work very hard, maybe very hard, and do not get appreciation as much as they deserve. I'm going in for a short break, and I'm going to be back with you very shortly. In the meantime, stay with Relax Radio and relax. Welcome back after the break. Welcome back to Relax Radio. For those of you who've just joined us now, this is Relax Radio, and I'm your host, Sami Sanaullah. On the Relax Radio Travel Show, we're talking about travel, we're talking about travel in general, and the industry. And of course, we were talking about the seamless journeys that people can experience, and sometimes the not so seamless journey that people can experience. So we're always trying to give you a very good experience, but I think all the stakeholders do their part, and travel is a very complex field. It does require lots of components to make this journey memorable. And sometimes, if something is not in place, it can become not so memorable, or rather, a negative experience that arises. However, our show is about everything that relates to travel. It's about the tourism destinations that are available. We would be bringing over the next few weeks to you highlights of destinations that you may want to visit, that you may find of interest. And different destinations have different specialities, they have the different edges that you can experience. So, for example, if you want to go trekking, you want to go in different places, you want to go hiking, maybe in a different location. Then there's cycling holidays. There's so many types of affinity groups. There are religious holidays, there are shopping holidays, there are cruises, there are beach holidays, there are holidays that you would want to take your kids to. And there are holidays where only the grown-ups would want to go to, just to spend some quality time together. So there is a holiday for every occasion, if you like. There is holidays that cover various seasonal changes. For example, there are holidays during the New Year celebrations, so you can go to a special destination where the New Year is being marked and being celebrated. So maybe some experience that is so unique and memorable for the rest of your life. That can also be. And of course, holidays where you can go camping, holidays where you can discover the forest trails, discover the riverways. Now, amongst all the destinations, of course, Bangladesh is one of the destinations that we always like to go to. Is for the British Bangladeshi community in the UK, running now into the third and fourth generations, are very keen to discover. And I find that the British Bangladeshi community, especially the youngsters, have an appetite for traveling to various exotic destinations to discover more and to experience the places that are not very well known to the Bangladeshi community in general. And that's a very positive sign. I find that is good. That is it's encouraging to see people want to discover and to venture out into new destinations, and others follow. I mean, it's going back a few years, I would not have seen too many of our Bangladeshi community going on into Turkey, into Morocco, into the North African regions, or into Mediterranean holidays. It would usually have been a trend where we would travel back to Bangladesh, and that would have been just an A to B and a B to A back. But now the trends are changing, and I think it's very important that the community are able to relate to the needs of the younger generations, to the adventurous generations, so that they can learn about Bangladesh, connect with Bangladesh, and also at the same time discover more of the world. These are very important factors. I believe the community in general and the media also have a very important part to play in connecting the youngsters and the new generation with Bangladesh. Build a bridge. That is essential. We need to build a bridge to make it easier for them to relate to Bangladesh and to be able to want to go there. So it's reigniting their thoughts and reigniting their ideas so that they can feel that they belong to Bangladesh as well. And well, it's not a matter of going back to live in there, but it's visiting Bangladesh and discovering so much that Bangladesh has to offer. Um, for those of you who don't know, this Relax Radio Travel Show is also endorsed by the Bangladesh Tourism Board. So the BTB, the Bangladesh Tourism Board, has endorsed this show and has participated in various episodes in the past. Like I said, we've just been back from a gap where During the COVID, we would have lots of sessions, we would have lots of interactive discussions on the way forward for tourism. And although that was generally joined by the industry leaders and gurus, the spectators from the general community, like yourselves, is what we aim, so that you know that we are always working to improve the customer experience throughout. And of course, Bangladesh has a wealth of tourism destinations to offer, and it may not quite be what the tourist wants, but it is what it is. Like a lot of countries, when we go to a different destination, sometimes we cannot. I think it's very important that the expectation and the reality are matched. So one when a traveler plans on traveling, that traveler should be able to um, know what they are expecting, and that is often the cause of disappointment. So if you have certain thoughts of what you want to achieve during your holidays and you don't get what you expected, then you would be disappointed. So the idea here is that you would need to get your expectations in line with reality. Do research, read through, find out reviews of the destinations you're traveling to. What is that destination well known for? What's the food like? What are the food habits? What are the arrangements? What are the customs locally? Do they have any conflict with your ideas and thoughts and beliefs? Uh, if you want to travel there, and how comfortable would you feel there? Do you speak the language? So these are all things that we need to bear in mind, and I think usually having an open mind is good. So if you are traveling to a place that you have not traveled to before, you're traveling to a new destination, then it's very advisable that you actually are able to put the reality in line with your expectation, or rather more than put your expectation in line with the reality, so you know what is going to be expected. If you want to join me on this call, it's 0785247343. That's the number to call direct to the studio. And of course, I will be back here again next Wednesday to answer any questions if you have. But what I would like to invite you all is to please watch out this space for new destinations that we will be showcasing. And some of these destinations would be offering gifts, and these gifts are to be won by answering questions. So the questions would be answered. You will find the answers to the questions if you listen to the program in its entirety. So listen to the show, and you would be, along as we go through the presentation of the destinations, we'll be having short video. We may have a speaker from the destination, and that's where you would be able to gather the answers to your questions that will be placed at the end of the quiz, at the end of the show, and a winner will be picked. So I'm hoping that you will all find this rather exciting and engaging, that you would be able to join us for the next episodes. It will be every Wednesday at 4 p.m. UK time. So, bearing in mind that the time zones will be changing around the world. So, at the moment, we have, if you're in Bangladesh, then it is a 5 hour time difference. If you're in any other part of the world, then you can work out what is the time difference for between yourselves and the UK. Some part of the USA, East Coast, usually it's 5 hours. But that will change at the end of October. So we haven't got very long to go, and the timings will change. So we will add 1 hour onto our clocks here in the UK. So, sorry, we'll go an hour back, which means you will have an extra hour difference between the UK and your time zone. So I do hope that you will join me next Wednesday at 4 p.m. UK time, and that you will be looking forward to engaging and giving us a call. This number is available on WhatsApp, or if you're in the UK, of course, you can call this number directly, 078524734773. That's the number. We will have a scroller with the number on the next show. So please bear in mind that's the number to call the studio. And I will be here back with you next Wednesday at 4 p.m. UK time. Until then, stay safe and have a wonderful time. If you're going away on holiday, have a great holiday. And of course, remember, Relax Radio Travel Show will bring you back more next week. All the best for now. Goodbye. Stay safe.